You will get credit for your guilty plea. I would have afforded you 25% credit had you not pleaded guilty on a false basis which necessitated a Newton hearing. I arrive at the figure of 25% because you pleaded guilty when first arraigned, but did so having served a defence statement suggesting that you were not guilty. Your arraignment was delayed a number of times to give you an opportunity to consider your position. In those circumstances, a full reduction of 1/3 would not be appropriate. However, the Sentencing Council guideline on credit for guilty plea suggests that a reduction of 50% in the level of credit is appropriate where a defendant contests and loses a Newton hearing. Therefore, I will afford you approximately 12.5% credit for your guilty plea. This reduces your overall sentence to one of 13 years and 2 months. That will be made up of a sentence of 6 years and 2 months on count 1 and a consecutive term of 7 years on all other counts. Finally, in arriving at your sentence, I apply the Sentencing Council guideline on totality and consider whether this total sentence is just and proportionate to reflect your overall criminality. In my judgment, it is. It reflects your culpability and the harm done, and is a proportionate reflection of your serious conduct, bearing in mind the need for deterrence and punishment in cases such as this. In reaching that conclusion, I have had regard to sentences passed in other cases of this type in the past. Significantly longer sentences than this have been reserved for offenders of a much greater magnitude than yours. Significantly shorter sentences have been reserved for people whose activity was, in my judgment, more limited than your own, such as in the authorities referred to me of James Finch. Mr. Smith, stand up. On count 1 of this indictment, I sentence you to a term of 6 years, 2 months imprisonment. On counts 2 to 8, I sentence you to concurrent terms of 7 years, but those terms will be served consecutively to your sentence on count 1, making a total term of 13 years, 2 months. The time you have served in custody referable to these offences will count towards your sentence. That will include both the time spent on remand in this country and the 10 days I certify you spent in custody in Germany awaiting extradition. If you serve your sentence in the United Kingdom, you will be released after you have served half of that sentence. You will then be on licence until the expiry of the total term. If you breach the terms of your licence, you can be returned to serve the remainder of your sentence in custody. If you serve your sentence in Germany, their rules on early release will apply to you. It is not for me to decide where your sentence will be served. The surcharge will apply in this case in the usual amount. I make no orders for confiscation or destruction of your computer and other equipment used in this offending, as it is in Germany. If you do not voluntarily relinquish your rights in it, it will be for the German court to consider any further action.